Right behind me, you see images of death and destruction all around this small settlement right next to the Gaza Strip in southern Israel. And over the course of the next 1 hour, we will get you details of Israel's war against Hamas terror and how the world is now completely divided into completely different camps.
Day 13th of Israel-Hamas War. Artillery booms, troops move closer. Shelling intensifies at Gaza border. India Today reports from Gaza border.
We are at the fence. The plumes of smoke that you see rising, according to the Israeli army, these are strongholds of Hamas.
The most exhaustive war coverage. That is our top focus on 5 Live.
The situation on ground remains extremely tense. This is day 13 of Israel's war on Hamas terror. The Israeli artillery and Israeli armor are punishing various strongholds of Hamas. Israel claims it's taken out some of the top military leadership of Hamas, as they have completely decimated some of the locations where the rocket propelled grenades, the rockets that targeted several pockets of Israel, were being manufactured. At the same time, Hamas terrorists continue to target Israel. This is happening at a time when US President Joe Biden visited Israel yesterday, and the British Prime Minister Rishi Sunak is in Israel today. But Israel relentlessly continues to pound Hamas bases on ground zero, where we are reporting from in southern Israel, very close to the Gaza Strip. India today is right at the front lines of this war against Hamas terror, Israel's war on Hamas terror. We are at the fence. The plumes of smoke that you see rising right behind me, and let me try and show you those plumes of smoke rising in that area right in front of you, there and there. Now, according to the Israeli army, these are strongholds of Hamas that are being targeted. This is where Hamas has leadership, operational bases, logistics centers, and also foxholes or mouth of the tunnel. Now, the mouth of the tunnels are being destroyed. Ammunition and those bombs are being used that penetrate the ground and then explode. The aim is to ensure Hamas terrorists are neutralized as quickly as possible. I have
Stand here.
yes, sir.
Don't stand here, okay?
No,
It's
no.
exposed. Be
Yeah.
behind this line.
Okay.
Try to stand behind cover.
So, absolutely, sir. This is in the line of Hamas fire.
Yes.
So Israeli army officers are telling me that the place where we are standing right now, it's directly in the line of Hamas fire, including their small arms fire. And that's why we're moving to safety. We're told to constantly wear helmets and bulletproof jackets in this place. It's not safe, or take shelter behind mounds in this area, because for a rocket, when that rocket targets Tel Aviv, then there is still considerable time. Okay, so now we are moving to safety. These officers, it's safe here. Okay, so these officers tell us that it's safer to be in this part of town, because in this part of the open area, because here at least you're safe. But anything beyond this, you're directly in the line of fire as Israeli forces intensify their operations against Hamas terrorists. What's also very crucial is the Heron TP drones, long endurance drones that are in the skies, and you can hear the sound of those of their motors constantly. Those drones flying at an altitude of 30,000 feet or even higher, they pinpoint with their cameras, they pinpoint even a foxhole or the mouth of a tunnel, and then they lit up, they put a laser beam on the mouth of the tunnel, and the F-16s and F-15s. You can again hear those F-16s and F-15s in the sky. The moment that laser targeting is done, precision guided munition is used to bomb the mouth of the tunnel. So that is how precise these operations are being carried out. The aim is to ensure that when ground forces move in, there are no buildings or clusters where Hamas terrorists can hide behind civilians and use anti-tank missiles or shoulder-fired surface-to-air missiles to target low-flying helicopters. Should helicopters come into that operation to give protection to the tanks and armored personnel carriers and trucks when they move in. Shallow raids, we are told, are already being conducted. So we're getting you a ground report very tense situation on ground as you see plumes of smoke rising. Not safe to be there, but I just want you to, for a moment, see those plumes of smoke rising. India today is right at the front lines of Israel's war on Hamas terror. The situation taking a turn for the worse. There is an escalation on ground as Israel says its main aim is to destroy Hamas leadership, their bomb shelters, their bomb manufacturing capabilities, their logistics hubs, and also their financial centers. Gaurav Sawant, right near the Gaza Strip in southern Israel for India Today. India Today has been reporting from some of these settlements that were targeted by Hamas terrorists. We were at Kibbutz Be'eri, we were at the Rims Nova Music Festival site, and now we are at Kibbutz Nehal Oz. Now, Kibbutz means a small community where people come together and believe in community living. They eat together, they live in harmony together. Whatever they earn is for the entire community. Their children study together. It's a beautiful form of living, and there are long queues for people to be able to join some of these well-to-do kibbutz. Of course, they are located very close to the fence. There is a shortage of space in this country, but just look at the destruction all around. This was a beautiful home of 6 people. 6:30 in the morning when Hamas terrorists hit this house and several houses in kibbutz like this around me, people were forced to take shelter. They hid inside their homes because they're used to Hamas terrorists attacking using rockets, specially reinforced walls, reinforced windows and doors. The terrorists could not enter some of these houses. So they set the houses on fire and people were burnt alive. There was one image which is extremely heartbreaking where a couple, they were hugging and they burnt to death together. They were asphyxiated. Many such images like that all around this place. When people could not bear the heat in some instances, they ran out of their homes, but they ran into a hail of Hamas bullets. And that is why Israel says it will punish the Hamas terrorists. There is no way Israel will permit Hamas to exist in Gaza Strip anymore, either to rule Gaza Strip or to even survive in Gaza Strip. I've spoken to a number of Israeli army officers in the past 12 days, and they say there's one aim that they have in their life. It's an existential crisis for them. It's either Hamas or them, and they will ensure that Hamas is decimated. But I want to show you how Israel is fighting a war on multiple fronts. It's not just one enemy, it's not just one Hamas. So take a look at these images and let me try and explain to you. So at southern Israel, where I am right now, Israel is fighting the Hamas terror. On its northern borders with Lebanon, Israel is also fighting the Hezbollah. Israel is fighting this war on multiple fronts because Syrian territory is also being used. So that's the Golan Heights area on top, as you see in those graphics, as you see in those images. The Golan Heights area is once again an area where there is tremendous threat for the Israeli forces. So you have the Syrian border that's been activated, and Israel, with its superior military power, has bombed airfields that could have been used against them in Syria. Israel has targeted multiple locations of the Hezbollah in Lebanon. They've also warned the government in Lebanon, do not risk the safety and security of people and the city of Beirut for the sake of Hamas terrorists, because Israel has the might to run Beirut to the ground, and they intend to do that in case Hezbollah fighters or Hezbollah terrorists use the northern side to target Israel like they have been. So Israel has opened up with its artillery targeting the northern areas and targeting the Hezbollah there. They're targeting the Hamas in the south.